on a Congress long in session and short in courage. A legislature that fears the people more than it fears its own conscience is already unfit to govern. Congress was designed to be the plain voice of the nation, numerous enough to resist tyranny, divided enough to restrain ambition, and accountable enough to remain humble. Yet what we observe today is not a body of representatives, but a theater of factions, each performing for donors, cameras, and party whips while the public waits outside the door. Debate has been replaced by delay, responsibility by rhetoric. The business of the nation is conducted not in earnest deliberation, but in calculated outrage. Laws are no longer crafted to solve problems, but to signal allegiance. Thus nothing essential moves, while everything trivial becomes explosive. It is a strange contradiction that Congress claims to be perpetually divided, yet always manages to agree on its own preservation. Terms grow longer, salaries remain secure, and consequences are endlessly postponed. The people change, the excuses do not. Parties were never intended to become permanent identities. They were meant to be temporary alliances of thought. But Congress now behaves as though party loyalty outweighs public duty, and disagreement within the ranks is treated as treason rather than thought. When obedience replaces judgment, representation becomes hollow. The citizen is told that compromise is impossible, that the nation is irreparably split, and that nothing can be done until the next election. This is not leadership. It is abdication disguised as inevitability. If Congress cannot act in times of crisis, it exists only to observe the nation's decline from comfortable seats. The corruption of a legislature rarely announces itself with bribes alone. It more often arrives dressed as convenience, avoiding hard votes, deferring difficult truths, and allowing private influence to masquerade as expertise. When laws are written by those who profit from their complexity, justice becomes an accessory. It is not radical to expect courage from elected officials. It is the very reason they are elected. Yet courage is now treated as recklessness, honesty as impractical, and restraint as weakness. In such an environment, mediocrity flourishes while principle starves. Let it be said plainly, Congress is not broken because the people demand too much, but because it demands too little of itself. A body that measures success by re-election rather than results will always choose survival over service. The founders did not fear disagreement. They feared stagnation. They did not design Congress to be comfortable, but effective. A legislature that cannot reform itself invites reform upon itself, and history has never been gentle in that task. If Congress wishes to regain the confidence of the people, it must first recover its own. Not confidence in power, but confidence in purpose. Not confidence in party, but in principle. Until then, the nation will remain governed not by law, but by postponement, and no republic ever survived on delay alone.